folks. Hey, I'm Steve Burklow.
Mike Burklow.
This is my brother Mike. He's pulling in for Don today. Don's on the road right now. He had to go meet with some sales reps, trying to get a product going. So here we're gonna try to handle fill in Don's shoes tonight. So
shouldn't be hard.
It'll be real bad, huh? But we're talking about the recovery of the whitetail right now, and also talking about what everybody's doing, what the deer are doing right now. They're dropping the horns. Of course, now they're about to start putting their horns back on, starting to, most of them kind of, especially up north, kind of starting to break the hairline. Antlers are starting to start growing again. In the south, I really don't think they're, probably hadn't even started yet.
Right.
Probably a little bit more time. Probably
they may
maybe
have
end of this month.
Starting to show here pretty soon.
Yeah. So hang in there. We'll talk more about it, guys. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll start this show.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes Top Secret Reserve Doe Esters, the finest doe esters ever collected. Top Secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 1/10% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 1/10% club.
All right, guys, we're back. It's Thursday night, the 14th of May. Man, I can't believe it's already, this year's about halfway gone, but one good thing, that means hunting season's just around the corner.
I'll tell you what, it'll be here before you know it.
That's right, that's right. We're going to make a little trip to Illinois this year, see if we can't get us a whitetail. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're talking, it's spring down here. We're in North Florida, lower Alabama down here. Deer, not quite like we talked about before we went to commercial break, not really putting on antlers yet like they are up north. Shoot, Mike, they're usually in velvet all the way, usually till, the end of September, 1st October, right at the end of September, 1st October is that time down here, typically in the south, when the bucks are really starting to shed that velvet.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of times that first week of bow season, those antlers are red, real orange red.
Some of them even still have the velvet on.
Yeah, a few of them still have velvet. But anyway, also what I wanted to talk about real briefly, food plots. A lot of people are planting summer plots right now and doing the supplemental feeding, which is a great thing, especially to build more protein the better right now. And I had touched on one thing I wanted to throw back out there. We had talked to a boy from Michigan a few weeks ago. I think it's Aaron O'Neill. We talked to Aaron about, I think I'd mentioned sun hemp to him. We've planted sun hemp for the last 3 years. And if you've never heard of it, sun hemp is, it's not the kind that you smoke, by the way. It's not illegal. But anyway, sun hemp is really pretty neat. It grows to about 10 feet tall. They make a few different kinds, but the kind that we prefer grows to about 10 feet tall. And the reason we like it is if you got a real heavy deer population, when you plant sun hemp, it grows so fast they can't keep up with it. So unlike soybeans or lab or something like that, they pound it as soon as it comes out of the ground. Mm-hmm. We can't ever get it to grow, not in Dallas County, Alabama. And so that sun hemp, boy, once it gets past that, it really gets on up there. I mean, it's not to mention it also crowds out and shades out all the weeds. Doesn't allow weeds to grow up in there. So when your fall plots, it's time to mow the sun hemp down, then your fall plots your plot is pretty clean. And it's a real high in protein. They say it's higher in protein than alfalfa. The sun hemp is. So try it out. If you hadn't used it before, you might try it out. Matter of fact, we should be planting our sun hemp here in the next few weeks here in the south. So, but anyway, what we got tonight, Tom? What we got Facebook or we got Facebook? All right, we got a Facebook. Who we got, Mike?
We got Joe Narrett from Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I sure hope I pronounced your last name right, but I'm sure I didn't.
It says, can you describe how you bottle your deer scent and how it's different than other scent companies? Well, we can certainly answer the second part of that question, but that
Yeah,
first part of the
a
question,
lot of people would want to know how we're doing it, I think.
I think Don would cuss me if I give away that first part of the question, but
Man.
we can't really say anything about how we bottle it. We just can say that when it's bottled, it is absolutely 100% oxygen free from collection to bottle, which means no oxygen hits it
Right,
until
it comes
you
directly from the dough itself.
right from the dough itself. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I know how it's. I know it's collected oxygen free.
Well,
I don't know if I really want to see it.
Well, I talked with the guy up there, whenever we went to the ATA show, that's from Ohio and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a process. I mean, it's
quite a process.
process,
I'm teasing.
and-
I have seen it, but it is. We're the only company that collects it oxygen free from collection to bottle. So that kind of answers the second
Right,
part of that question.
right. And
that
it's pure. I mean,
it is-
you can't get it any better.
and that's the big difference between Top Secret and the other ones out there, the Tinks, the Code Blue, all those, any other scent, if it's not Top Secret, is oxygenated.
Right.
Oxygen hits it and it breaks it down, it ammoniates it.
Right.
So big difference, guys. If you hadn't used Top Secret, urge you to try it. It'll make a huge difference. So hope that answered your question. I think we got a caller now.
Got a
Mike.
caller now,
Tom,
buddy.
holding that sign up. Here we go. Good night. Hey, you got Steve Burklow, Mike Burklow. Who we got?
This is Brian at Polstra in South Dakota.
Hey, Brian, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
All right, all right. I'm standing in for Don tonight, and my brother Mike's standing in for him too. And what kind of question you got tonight?
Well, I typically, majority of my hunting is done archery. And I use a decoy when I get close to the rut and during the rut. And I'm wondering, where would you place the attractant? What's a good place to put like the scent of the attractant in relation to the decoy? And do you put it like in a pattern around it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll touch on it, and then Mike may want to touch on it. But as far as the decoy, which I've used some, probably not near as much as you have, I have used it in Illinois a few times, and Dadgum had a real nice buck. Just about closed the deal on. I wished I didn't have the scent with me that day. I think I would have. But absolutely, I would use it. I mean, you're fooling him thinking that's a doe or a young buck, whatever the decoy you're using. So if it's a buck, then yeah, use buck urine. I put it right on the decoy. Just put it right. That way, he's confirming what he smells, and he's putting that scent right on it. You want his attention away from it, and of course, you're going to have that decoy in shooting range of bow range. 40 yards or in. But yeah, right there. Absolutely. Mike,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts?
Well, it just so happened that again, whenever we were up in Indiana, and I talked to the guy there at the ATA show, and he was talking about how well he used, or whenever he used a Top Secret, he made a trail in using the Top Secret, made a trail in, set the decoy down, put plenty of the Top Secret on the decoy itself. And he talked about how every time, whenever he was hunting and watching bucks come in, they would circle the decoy, but every time they hit the trail in, they'd hit the trail where he put the Top Secret down and follow it straight into the decoy. He was so satisfied with the Top Secret, and just went over and over about that.
So he trailed it in also, and then not only that,
He said every buck circled the decoy, hit the trail, and went straight into the decoy.
Yeah, yeah, and boy, it does a great job of taking their attention away, especially you in there trying to get an arrow off.
Because what I've done is I've put the scent right at the base of the decoy down in the grass, kind of like the doe marked right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put a little bit kind of around it, I guess you could say, to kind of pattern density, I guess you could say. Get more scent out there and give them more areas to kind of, I've never done the trail in. That's something,
right.
Something worth trying.
Yeah.
Have you tried Top Secret, or is this just another deer scent, or?
This is another deer scent. Honestly, I've just heard about your product, and I want to try it, but unfortunately up here in South Dakota, there's no place that I can get it. I think I got to research that. I might have to get it online direct from you guys. So,
You
but
can
I
do.
want to give it a try.
Absolutely, you can do that also. It'll be in, of course, some of the major, Cabela's, and it'll be, Gander Mountain being a lot of Sportsman Guide. So a lot of your, and not to mention you can get it from us online also or join the club. But yeah, I urge you to try it. It's a game changer,
Yeah,
Mike.
absolutely.
We used it last year, and man, especially, and I don't know if you've watched the show before, but we really always preach buck urine. If you're putting a buck decoy out, man, you've got to have buck urine and the doe and doe estrus. But that way, that buck that you're trying to kill confirms that buck urine. That's confirming what he's, what his eyes is telling you, confirms his nose. Man, I think you'll have some success.
And along with that grunt too.
Yeah, hit that grunt with it.
You become deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I've not tried the buck decoy before. I got a doe decoy is what I've primarily been using, just to kind of, like I said, right up into the rut there. I want to say, oh yeah, she's right there waiting for me.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I hope that helped. Try trailing it in. Try use some Top Secret. I don't know if one of my favorites is the foam. I like the foam. Of course, ours is oxygen free from collection bottles. So the foam, you don't have to have the scent saver to use it, and it's nice. You can foam, buck doe going in, and you got a buck chasing a doe going into your area where you're going to hunt. So it's a pretty neat deal. May try it out this year. Hopefully, you'll kill that old big one. You'll send us some pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, if I do, you fellas will get a picture. I'll even put the bottle on him so you can see it.
Good.
All right, that's what we need, man. Hey, we appreciate it.
All right, you guys have a good night. Can I ask one quick side question?
Sure.
Do you guys do where I live at? I've got the bonus of I can hunt whitetails, I can hunt mule deer. Mm-hmm. You guys do anything with mule deer, or is it all whitetail?
It's all whitetail because the majority of deer scent sold in America is just about totally whitetail. But not to say that just because we don't advertise that it can work for a mule deer, it will. It will. And you're not. Yeah, we've had other people ask that same question, but yes.
Because it's a good cover scent regardless.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got the bonus because I can drive half a mile and be hunting mule deer or whitetail in the same spot. So,
man, I tell you, that's awesome. You're in South Dakota. Yeah, man, I can't imagine. Right. Where are you at in South Dakota?
Pierre, South Dakota. I am literally right in the center of the state.
Oh, is that right? It gets cold up there, huh?
Just a little bit.
A little more than Florida, probably.
Yeah. You guys will have to come on up sometime and give it a try.
I don't say that if you don't mean it now.
Oh, I mean it.
Hey, I'm all about getting up there and doing one of those pheasant hunts up there too.
Yeah.
I heard they got some pheasants up there.
Oh, there's just a couple, yeah.
I've heard that too. Well, good deal. Well,
it's.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead. It's great. I appreciate the tip. I like your show here. It's good to watch. It's informative. I like it, man. It's seen it a couple of times now. So.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Appreciate you taking the time to answer my question. And like I said, I'll give it a try here. And like I said, if I get one, I'll put the bottle on it and send you a picture.
All right,
man.
Good,
We appreciate
good deal,
it.
Brian.
Hey, and if you have a dealer there that you like to use, tell him to give us a call and tell him to start stocking it. We'll be glad to set him up.
Okay.
We'll
All right.
deliver it.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right.
buddy.
Thanks, Brian.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back and do this all over.
All right.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
All right, guys, we're back. What we got up next there, Big Tom? We got time for a Facebook? Oh, nope, we got a caller on the line.
Got a caller.
Dadgummit. Here we go. All right, you got Steve Burklow and Mike Burklow. Who we got?
Hey, it's Rob. How you guys doing?
Big Rob, how you
about it,
doing,
Rob?
buddy?
Good.
The Hunt Master.
Where are you from, Rob?
I'm from Portland.
Portland. huh?
Portland, Alabama.
Ever heard of that?
I've been there.
Been there a couple times.
All right.
How's it going there, Big Rob?
Good. How are you guys?
All right, man.
Y'all sitting out on the porch?
Nah, I'm sitting here in the hunting room
I got
watching the
you.
computer.
Okay.
I hear you. Well, what's your question tonight?
Well, I was just wondering, with that scent that y'all have, how far away can a deer smell that? Like just like one drop. How far away would you say that would carry through the woods?
Well, I would say
We got that same Facebook question sitting right there. It's funny, we're about
Yes.
to go over that, but
Yeah.
go ahead, Mike. You take that one.
well, and I think Rob would agree with me because Rob and we sit on the porch and we discuss a lot of things like that. But no, I think there's a lot of factors that sort of play into that. You know, you got your humidity, you got your morning, you got afternoon, you got if you're down in say one of those river bottoms, if you're on top of the hilltop area, and it's just unusual because it just seems like there's some days it don't matter what you have on, they're going to smell you 3 miles away, and then there's some days that they come right downwind from you and they don't smell you at all and just walk right on by.
I know, it's crazy.
It's sort of tough to say exactly how far away they can smell it, but whenever the peak of the rut is on, I don't think it takes much, and I think they smell it far away.
Yeah, I do too.
That's about as exact as I could put it.
I would, under conditions that are,
Yeah.
normal, let's say 5-10 mile an hour winds, maybe with a sunny day and hunting in wintertime, gosh,
Right.
I would think probably 100, 150 yards.
Right. Oh yeah.
Do you think that like on a windier day, it would be less? Would it be like less? Because you got the winds.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's.
Would you think you would need to like put more scent down or less or what?
I'm thinking, honestly, that's a good question.
It just depends on what kind. I think it depends on what kind of a draft you have. If you have a draft that's carrying the scent sort of on a consistent basis,
Right.
it's sort of consistent instead of just dead still, and it's just staying hovered up right there in front of you. But if you have a draft that is consistent in one direction, I think the deer's going to smell you 150 yards away.
Yeah. But if it's windy,
If it's windy and it's swirling and everything,
it may be tough. You may have to use more, I'm thinking.
And again, if
Yeah.
it's dry, if it's real dry, I don't think it's going to smell you as far away as it is if it's humid and it's staying close to the ground.
Right. Yep.
But in your case, Rob, I mean, just use the fire out of it and go buy you another 3 or 4 bottles and
Solve that problem.
Just be sure.
Well, I've got a good source for it, that's for sure.
You do.
There you go. All right, Big Rob. Well, man, we hope that answered the question.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks a lot. And I'm enjoying the show, guys. Y'all keep it up.
All right, you tell everybody there I said hello.
I'll do it, man.
All right,
Thank y'all.
buddy.
All right. Thanks, Rob. All right, Michael, we're going to a Facebook question. Who we got here?
Got George Bennett out of Bedford, Indiana.
And he says, he asks, at what age do you believe bucks are the hardest to hunt? What you think about that?
I mean, we've talked about it before, and I think whenever they start to get to be around 3.5, and especially 4.5, own.
Yeah.
Because, whenever a buck lives to be 3.5 years old, 4.5 years old, instinct
He's developed.
Instinct sort of takes over. When's the best time to go eat? When's the best time to go move around.
Be visible.
Yeah, be visible. That's right. Be visible to move.
Right.
And when instinct takes over, it's safe time, and
Right.
the safest time they usually figure out is, that's when they become more nocturnal.
And I think safe time down here in the South is about midnight.
Midnight to 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Ooh, boy, they get tough to hunt, and especially like you said, when they get 4.5 or older, it gets tough.
Yeah.
Because everybody's saying, that 1.5, 2.5-year-old 8-point, they're a lot of times, man, they'll run right out under you, and boy, but after that, 3.5, 4.5, it gets tough.
And that's why having every arsenal in your bag helps so much. Having that grunt call, having that buck lure, having the doe lure, decoy if you are able to use a decoy, and growing up, deer are used to seeing where other deer are and stuff. But once they start smelling that doe starting to come in heat, once they have an intruder come in, once they hear one, that may make one get up during the daytime.
Right. That's right. When you start talking their talk.
That's it.
That's right.
And sort of start threatening them and do a challenge towards them.
Yeah. Right. That makes it fun too.
Absolutely.
Makes it fun. All right. Who we got? Another Facebook? All right. What we got?
I'm going to let you pronounce that one, Steve.
Mike Melody, maybe, or
Melody.
Pittsburgh, Kansas. Mike, I hope we didn't mess that up. If we did, maybe give us a call and tell us how to pronounce that. But it says, do you guys have an opinion on spike deer? I've always heard once a spike, always a spike, and wanted to get them out of the breeding herd. And I've heard that as well. Not sure that I'm a big believer on that. Just have a hard time shooting spikes.
Well, I do a lot of reading on that just for the fun, but the more that I have read, the more that I have seen that goes against that. It used to be the norm. If it's a spike, shoot it because it's always going to be a spike. But they're finding out more and more today, from what I understand, that that's not the truth. That a big mature buck can breed a doe. The fawn the next year can be a spike. The next year can be a small 6-point.
Yeah.
Next year it might be an 8 or 10 point. Small 8 or 10 point. But it can grow to be a big mature buck.
But there's one fact. If you shoot him, he'll never
get
be
there.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
So you might want to let him go.
That's it.
But anyway, another Facebook. All right, we got who we got, Mike?
Oh, we got Laura Enders from Ripley, Tennessee.
All right, during the heat of the rut, would you rather have a property that has a big population or a small population of does?
That's an easy one.
Easy question right there. Of course, the smaller the better. You don't want to have just a tiny population of does. You want about a 50-50. Even a little less does than bucks
1 to 2,
would be
1 to
great,
3, yeah.
because then those bucks have competition. They have to go. They have to really fight for that doe, so that gets them up off their feet. When they don't have competition, kind of how it often is where we hunt in Alabama and Florida, typically there's a lot more does than there are bucks. We don't see them near as much because they don't have the competition. So,
right.
Is that your?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
That just goes into the male world. If you don't have very many females out there, and
Right.
it's time for Mother Nature to take over.
That's a challenge. Yeah.
Somebody's wants to get whipped and stuff like that and take over and be dominant. But if you got them all running out there everywhere, then
there's 2 or 3 does for each. Yeah, it's not much of a. Yeah, so small population of does by far would be the.
And that's
absolute
always
question.
what the professionals have always told us too. That hey, the more does you have, the worse it is for your property in general, because deer are generally smaller because they don't have the food. The property can only support so much deer.
Right.
Period. And whenever you start getting that overcrowdedness of does and stuff like that, Mother Nature eventually will win out and thin the herd some way or another. They're going to do it, probably disease or something.
Yeah.
But
it's important to shoot those does and get.
is.
If
Really
you're
is.
killing bucks off your property.
if you're shooting all bucks and the does are doing
I mean,
like this.
Yeah, you've got to take some of those does. that for sure. So, all right, we're going to take another Facebook. Who we got?
Lisa Shimlock from Antigo, Wisconsin.
Yep, and it's she's asking, is it true that bucks eat their velvet once it sheds? That's a unique question. Never had that question on the show, I don't think. But Mike said he's heard they do. They actually do. Not sure they always do, but is that have you heard they always do or?
Well, I don't know
typically
about
do.
always. I just have, basically I learned that from Don too,
Oh, is that right?
the mentor.
Big Don, if you're watching.
Yep, the mentor.
All right.
I wonder if he likes to be called that.
The mentor.
The mentor.
Don Bell, the mentor. We'll see. You reckon he'll let us know?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got another Facebook here. Oh, we got a commercial break.
time
All
for
right.
commercial.
So we're going to show us Top Secret or one of the new products here, folks.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes Top Secret Reserve Doe Esters, the finest doe esters ever collected. Top Secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 1/10% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 1/10% club.
All right, guys, we're back, and I know we kind of touch on this every week, but kind of this time of the show. But guys, we keep stressing the 1/10% club. It's an exclusive club. If you're first time seeing the show or first time hearing about the club, 1/10%, and what it is, it's actually a 26-ounce bottle of. We got the reserve, it's doe estrus, and we have buck urine. This is the finest. This is actually, we pulled that old buck right off the doe right there in this bottle. So
Probably made him mad.
Probably made him mad. We got about 12,000 bottles for 12 million deer hunters, therefore the 1/10% club. So
Might make her mad.
absolutely. And of course, if you get this, we're selling in a combo pack with the Scent Saver system. Pour it in, fill up the Scent Saver. You got the pump you can pump it out with. Always keep it fresh in between uses. Keep it oxygen free. But they can join. You can join the club two different ways. You can go online and click on, which you'll look on the screen there. You can click on that. You can pay now, or you can choose to pay for it over 4 payments, 4 months. Pay $25 a month.
That's the way I'd have to do it.
Yeah, $25 a month for 4 months. But and you also there's a lot of perks comes along with the show. It's the club, joining the club. A lot of benefits. Tom just put it up there on the screen. But join tonight, folks. The bottles are moving fast, especially closer we get to hunting season here. And we'll ship it if you want it now. You pay for it. We'll ship it whenever you want it. Let's say if you want it September 1st for October, we'll have it there for you. All right, guys. What we got next, Big Tom? Got us a phone caller.
Got a
Who we got?
telephone call.
There he is. All right, this Top Secret. We got Steve and Mike. Who we got?
It's Darren Chandler. How y'all doing?
All right. Where you from, big boy?
Pensacola.
Oh, man, the heck. You right here next to us.
Hometown boy.
Yeah, I'm originally from up North Mississippi and stuff like that, hunting out that way. But,
We won't hold that against
the
you.
question tonight is, everybody does all these different mixes in their plots and all this. And I've heard of, the crimson, the clovers, and all this kind of stuff. What's y'all's favorite food plot mix that you could recommend to do?
Very good question.
The name brand or what we like in it?
Well, I think
what you like,
what we like in it, I
not
think.
Brand, just like the mixtures that
I got you.
A lot of people just do different things, wheat, like rye, and all this kind of other stuff.
Right. Well, we've since we've owned our property for about 10 years now, we've done a lot of experimenting with it.
A lot of different ones.
And man, I tell you, I really like a good mixture of white and red clover, little bit of wheat, pretty good bit of oats in there with that. Some brassicas are great if you can get them to grow. We have a problem getting them to grow because the
Right.
deer hit them so soon as they come up out of the ground. They're absolutely fabulous.
Chicory
if you
too.
Chicories,
That
yeah.
Chicory in there.
But the biggest key is having a good mix of about 5 or 6 of
Right.
them is
And those
huge.
beans, they put this. What's that? What's it?
Yeah, the
Some kind of bean.
The Austrian winter peas is good. Matter of fact, we use a product. A lot of times we use a product called Buckbuster.
Buckbuster, yeah.
Matter of fact, I think it's made in Mississippi or Louisiana. And it's, I want to say it's about $35 a bag. It's a great buy because it has about 5 or 6 of those ingredients we were just talking about.
They ought to be thinking of us. Something.
Yeah.
Just use them like a broadcaster.
Yeah, or you can do both ways.
drill it,
You can
yeah.
you can seed drill it, or you can broadcast. We've done it both ways. If it's too wet to seed drill, you can broadcast
What about
it.
for sandy soil? That's kind of what we've got up that way up there. In
If I
North
was-
Mississippi, we've got a bunch of fields up there.
Yeah, I would
and
just,
stuff, so
I
it's
would
not a
broadcast.
Yeah, sandy soil.
up there.
Sandy soil is good if you can drill it because you're keeping more moisture in the ground. If you can drill it, it's just
Gotcha.
if it's real sandy, sometimes it's tough to drill it. But you can do it. If you broadcast, you want to use about 30-40% more seed because it's not near as quite as effective as drilling, but it'll do the same. You just use a little more. But and you want to get it about 1/2 inch to 1 inch under the soil, not much. Not
Yeah,
much.
and sometimes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, sometimes drilling is, like Steve says, is much more efficient. But a lot of times, if it's got, you know, several different clovers in it, the clover's got to, you know, you can't get it too deep, and the oats, it's going to go deeper than the clover.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a little tough, you know.
And a lot of times we'll drill those bigger grains.
Right.
Go ahead and drill those in, and then just come back over with a little seed spreader or a 4-wheeler spreader, and then throw that clover on top. Not even do anything.
Sort of top it,
top it, or you can run a
Drag over
Cultipacker.
run a cultipacker over it or a drag, and just rough it up a little bit, and that does great. But
Does real good.
But yeah,
Is
it's
there
a good
different
mix.
times of the year that I need to be looking at planting that compared to, you know, if I did a different mixture? Or,
Yeah, well, that mixture, that's for a fall, winter food plot. So down here in the south, you want to plant that from mid-September to about the end of October. We typically plant about mid to end of September, 1st October is typically when we plant, and that'll carry it right on through the season.
Yeah, and one thing that, you know, that I really noticed is during the spring especially, and that something else that I've been reading is the use of clover, how well it's used on the deer really like that clover, and how much it helps during the spring. And if that's if that's one of your arsenals in your bag of mixture and having those different clovers, you're really helping your deer herd out during the spring too, because that's going to be up in your green fields during the spring. And
Yeah, we've got
Real
a
good.
we've got a
I mean,
we've got a
lush,
bumper
full-
crop of clover this
clover.
year. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
been up there a few weeks ago, and it's just, boy, that clover's looking
and
good.
the deer are loving it. I mean, it's
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all's help with that.
All right,
All
big
right,
dog.
Darren.
All right, man.
All right.
We appreciate you
good
calling
talking
in.
to you, Darren.
Thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we're going to go with Facebook. Here we go. Let's see. Who we got, Mike?
Jason Davis out of Minneaska, Minnesota.
Minneaska, Minnesota. Never heard of that. All
Hey,
right.
what these names? They're trying to test me on these names, and they
I'm telling you.
think I'm failing.
Minnesota, though, is probably some big bucks. Let's
Oh,
see.
man.
What do deer rubs really mean, and describe the science behind them? Well, deer rubs, territorial.
Right.
Bucks are, of course,
Whitetails, yeah.
they're very territorial. So, if I didn't pronounce that just right, but you know what I mean. They'll around their master bedroom, they'll make a rub line, and they're kind of saying, "Hey, this is my master bedroom.
This is my place.
Yeah, and you want to stay out. If not, I'm gonna be on you."
That's it. And I think also it's a way, you know, when they make a rub, they're putting their scent there, and another buck can smell that scent from a ways too.
Oh yeah, yeah. They rub those orbital glands around their eyes, and they're right there under their horns, right there at the base.
Right.
It leaves that scent. That's right. And it's telling them other deer.
They don't just walk up and see it. They smell it from a ways.
Right. So I hope that helps. So if you're if you're looking at rubs, of course bucks have been there. Not to mean that's just set up on it. Typically, it's a good sign that they're using that area. But of course, you want to take in a lot of other factors as well, as food and cover and all that. But anyway, all right. Who we got? We got Mike. What's the next
Ed
one?
Bend out of Pittsfield, Illinois.
All right. Says what's the average acres of a buck's home range? We'll let Mike have that one.
Well, I've always thought and always heard that it's 1 square mile.
600,
and I think for
640 acres,
right,
square mile.
650, 600, 800 acres, and I've always believed that to be true. Of course, when you got the peak of the rut coming on and they start chasing and getting further away, they may venture out of that. But I've also read studies where they tag deer, and whenever they released them, they have found whitetails up to 30 miles away from where they released them.
Yeah.
And where they released them at, they have swam rivers to get that 30 miles away.
Which that's not typical, but they will.
Not necessarily. Once they find their home range, like you ask, what's their home range? Generally, that square mile radius. But they'll, the lack of food, being pushed out,
whatever meets their needs. Right. Pressure and food availability, of course, the does, and so that's right. Well, and
the
so
urge to breed.
That's right. And you were talking about deer going that far, and I was thinking about reaching out and touching that deer with a high-powered rifle with a scope, and that made me think about one of our products, Mike. And I was going to do a shout-out right now. So, Mike, you want to tell them about Fog Zero?
I'm going to tell you something. Talked to the guy up in South Dakota. Was it Brian?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, Brian. We should have told Brian about this.
Yeah.
The Fog Zero.
Yeah, cold up there.
And I know he said he does a lot of hunting, bow hunting and stuff. But still, a lot of bow hunters use rangefinders. They still use binoculars.
Oh, I keep mine right here all the time.
And I'm going to tell you what, this is the best thing you can get for your binoculars. First of all, you got a brush on there that you're going to clean the lens off with. Then you got your solution that you apply your solution with right there. If you got a heavy smudge, you got something to get that smudge out right there. And then
got a buffing pad to get the heavy smudges.
And then you got your cloth right there.
It's got a microfiber towel in the cap that pushes right out. You got it all in one right there, guys. So if you've ever...
And it just sits right there in your pocket just like that. And once you start using it and carrying it, you'll always want to carry it with you in the woods.
10 times better than anything you've ever seen on the market. Man, every deer hunter's got to have one of them in their backpack. Absolutely. Now I've got a couple in mine. But yeah, binoculars, and heck, man, you spend $1,000 or $400 on a pair of binoculars.
I mean, deer hunting's expensive.
And just as much on a scope. Dadgum, you want to keep it clean.
I mean, your scope's not going to be no better if you can't see through it.
That's exactly right. Absolutely, some great anti-fog solution in there also. It works fabulous. So, matter of fact, you can take it and write it on the mirror and tell your wife you love her, and then when the steam hits it, it'll say it right there. It works. So
you tell your neighbor to leave too. Go take a shower and
take a shower somewhere
we're ready
else
for you to leave. And whenever he gets out, he might get the hint.
It's time for neighbor to go, ain't it?
Please leave.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll get right back to the show.
You've worked hard all summer to get everything just right. Don't leave the rest of it to use the finest deer urine ever collected, and the only one in the market that is oxygen-free. From collection to bottle, get ready. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
All right, guys, we're back, and Mike and I was just talking right before that camera went boom, come back on, and what we were talking about, Mike. This is a good time to talk about.
Yeah, it's getting time to start cutting those fields, start plowing them, and getting ready to get ready for our summer crop, and then it'll be deer season, getting ready to plant that fall crop.
Well, what's a big problem right now, though, when you're going out in the woods right now, or out in those fields, or?
Well, there's a couple things. One thing you just can't worry about, you just got to watch for him, and that's that rattlesnake. But
wear your rattlesnake boots.
I tell you what, But the other thing too, if you're gonna be outside, you got to watch out for those ticks.
Man, the daggum ticks are taking over, ain't they?
Steve, I was in the doctor's office yesterday, and I was giving blood, and the nurse had just been bitten by a tick. I'll tell you what, and we've got just the thing for them too. The BioShield.
Yep, folks, if you hadn't seen BioShield, we're really kicking off BioShield this year. It's a great product.
Right.
You can get it online from the website. It'll be in a lot of the major retailers this year, a lot of your local retailers. But Mike, tell them about BioShield.
Well, the BioShield, it's a...
Here's the BioShield spray.
That's a spray. It comes in a laundry detergent, the spray, and a body wash shampoo. And what it does is first time on the market, just like Don said, first time on the market. Steve and I are both pharmacists. Been thinking about this idea for a while. It's not just like we went to sleep one night and woke up the next morning and said, BioShield.
Right.
Been thinking about it, for a long time. People coming in the pharmacy bit with a tick and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Lyme disease. I mean, that's no joke.
Yeah.
And people coming in the pharmacy. But what it is, it's a spectrum. It covers a whole spectrum. You wash your clothes, you're going to get protection.
Right.
From repelling the ticks. You take a shower.
The hair and body wash.
Hair and body wash. It's a shampoo.
It lathers up great, and it smells wonderful.
That's it. And then you go outside and you can spray down. You get a complete coverage. Your body, your clothes, and then you spray down. You got complete coverage. And it just works so good, and
it works so great. And the good thing about that, it's all natural.
All natural,
and, and as pharmacists, I'm gonna tell you, I don't like to use DEET, and I certainly don't like to use DEET on my kids or
there's a lot of, and yeah, I mean, put it right on the kids. You don't have nothing to worry about.
But if you don't realize it
your pet, your dog,
that DEET, if you got dipped camo and you got your guns or something dipped in camo, that DEET will dissolve it. So be careful with it. But I got an answer for that. Try all natural BioShield.
That's it.
Works outstanding. Only bug spray or mosquito and any biting insect. Only one that I think you'll find that actually smells good. Doesn't smell like a bug spray, Mike. Doesn't smell like it at all. So try it. It's you got the triple protection, like you said. Absolutely. We had a guy from Kansas called in the other night. He actually puts on those 3D archery tournaments. He puts those on. He said he typically gets about 100 ticks on him during one of those archery 3D shoots. And he used the system and didn't get a single tick on him after he had used the complete system. So it worked out fantastic. So I'm telling you, these ticks are carrying a lot of disease right now.
It's we talk about it, and you see the spray out there. And people want to use the spray and think, okay, I got coverage,
which is very important.
You're going to get some coverage with a spray, without a doubt. But and again, relating back to the pharmacy end of it, is getting the complete coverage. And the way you get the complete coverage, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put on a little piece of armor, wash my hair with it, wash my body with it. Then I'm gonna put another piece of armor on there, on your clothes. I got my clothes washed in it. And then I'm going to spray down, and that's going to be your shield. I mean, you're just covering yourself down. And I'm going to tell you, if you get bit by one of these ticks, that and you develop the Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever, I mean,
man, it's bad.
The way that you know your life today could be different tomorrow.
That's right, for the rest of your life.
I mean, we've seen it.
Absolutely, a bunch. So you can get protected. You can hit it on the website. Matter of fact, it's available. 8-ounce bottle retails for right at $8 or a little bit less. Man, it'll protect you. Safe for kids, pets.
If you're going out to the park, if you're going
anything outdoors, folks.
Anything
Camping
outdoors,
is
gardening.
Anything. It'll protect you.
And I think Don has said it on the show before. We wash our Labrador Retriever.
Mm-hmm.
I use the laundry detergent to wash her with, but
hey, it
I'll
works.
tell you what, it works.
You know, and if you've been out in the woods, you've been turkey hunting. Mike's a big turkey hunter.
Yeah. Turkey
you've been
hunting.
out there and you think, well, just in case I got a tick on me, I'm gonna take a bath anyway.
I'm gonna come back and take a shower in it
So
for sure.
use it that way. If you got one that in some place you can't really see, you might go ahead and that'll take care of him. That'll kill him. So there you go. So that'll get it, guys. Well, hey, we'll take another Facebook, Mike.
All right, Jerry Johnson out of Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, how much antler a day does a buck grow during the growing season?
I'll tell you what, that's a good question.
Very good question. You won't believe it if you're new into hunting or you know you think it's crazy, but you tell them, Mike.
Antler is the fastest growing tissue there is, other than possibly cancer. Cancer may. Some people will argue with it. Some will say the antler is going to grow faster, and some will say a cancerous tumor will grow faster. I hope I don't have to find out about the latter one.
Right.
But I think it's an inch a day, isn't it?
Yeah, up to an inch a day,
Yeah,
which
up to an
if you
inch a
think
day.
about it, that's pretty phenomenal.
Man.
But
It's almost, you could almost sit there and watch it grow faster than grass.
man, I don't know. Sometimes down here, sheesh, it seems like it grows 5 inches a day.
I tell you what, if you get a rain.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, all right. We'll take another Facebook. Who we got, Mike?
Timothy Andrews out of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
All right. Let's see. It says, where does a doe hide during the heat of the rut? Well, I mean, during the heat of the rut, I'm assuming talking about the peak of the rut.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, if she's receptive or if she's not receptive, it's going to make a difference. If she's if she's starting to come in, of course, we're talking during the peak of the rut, so I'm assuming she's beginning to probably want to come in. So she may be doing quite a bit of walking through the woods herself.
Right, right. Not necessarily wanting to be hidden.
As far as laying down and hiding, I would say she's just going to get somewhere where she feels protected away from natural enemies,
right? Coyotes,
and stuff like that. But for the most part, when the peak of the rut starts,
she's not wanting to hide.
She may get up and just feel that urge to just get up and walk.
Right. That's right. That's right. Not saying that she's wanting to hide or.
But there's going to be a time that she will bed down.
Right, and that's just typical of any time, not just during the heat of the rut or peak of the rut.
And where does she hide?
Yeah.
It's just going to be where she feels safe.
That's right, where they feel the safest, where they can see their surroundings and feel safe. That's right. So, all right, folks, what we got here?
Let's talk about some scent defense, because, we were just talking about
BioShield. So
BioShield.
Can't talk about BioShield without talking about scent defense, which is scent defense is very, very similar to BioShield. But Mike, you can tell us the difference.
Well, the only difference between the BioShield and the scent defense is that the scent defense incorporated silver and copper in it, and a silver and copper enzyme, which the silver and copper enzyme together forms a synergistic effect, which means the silver's good, copper's good, and then you put them together,
and they're this good.
it's that much better.
Right.
So what you have a protection from ticks, mosquitoes, red bugs, anything that'll bite you while you're hunting, especially during the warm part of the year, that you can sit there and put on you, and then the silver and copper together are going to kill the bacteria that causes human odor.
So you're killing your body's odor, you're killing your human
scent.
While at the same time, you're repelling all biting insects, the no-sims, the mosquitoes, and
red bugs that you might be having to rub up against a tree to get up. And then the kicker of it all is that the deer like the smell of it.
Yeah, we formulated it to be an attractant. So the main ingredient, which is proprietary to us, is Nurex. That's what's in BioShield, what is so effective in BioShield, and this is fortified with Nurex and scent defense. So it works fabulous. Keep all those critters off of you folks, and I'll tell you what, it'll kill that human scent. We used it last year, had great results. Deer love the smell. It's a game changer, Mike.
Yeah. Come in from hunting, wash down with it, go out hunting, wash down with it before you go, wash your clothes in it, and spray down in it whenever you get outside.
Absolutely.
Get the complete coverage again, away from the insects, away from the ticks, mosquitoes, red bugs, and then the deer like the smell of it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
I mean, what else could you ask for?
You get to your stand,
except the bugs.
Spray down once you get to your stand, and man, you'll have coverage. Keep everything off of you.
At least you can be comfortable if you
be comfortable while you're sitting there 2 or 3, 4 hours.
Pop them.
That's right. That's right. Down here, boy, they get after you. So, but no, it also comes in the laundry detergent, the hair and body wash, and you got the field spray over there, Mike. I think. Let me show them the field spray. Field spray comes in a bigger bottle, typical of what you see with your odor stop products in the hunting market. So this will be available. It's available now on the website. You can get it, of course, now. All the products now on the website. But you're going to find scent defense in a lot of stores here soon
in the fall,
for the fall hunting season.
Yeah, get ready for hunting season.
Absolutely, folks. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, hey, let's take a quick commercial break, Mike, and we'll come right back.
All right.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
Right. It's live, ain't it, Mike? Here it is. You caught us again. You caught us.
Is that what Don would say?
That's what Don would say. He'd say, "Oh, they caught us again." Hey.
There's a little slow back there with the green light. I think it was their fault.
Oh, was that right? Oh, okay. Well, hey, it's Mike. I think we're going to try to take a few more Facebooks. We're making some headway on these Facebooks tonight.
We're getting a lot of Facebook questions calling.
Yeah, man, I tell you, there's a lot of good questions too.
And all over the nation.
All over Minnesota, gosh,
Minnesota,
Illinois,
Montana, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see, who we got, Mike?
Glenn Justin out of Soldiers Grove, Minnesota.
All right, finally one we can pronounce here in the South.
I'll tell you what.
All right, will this spring's fawns get bred during this fall's rut?
I mean, I guess it's...
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. I'm not quite sure exactly how old a young doe is before she can come into estrus, but the problem you have whenever a young doe that breeds when she's young, a lot of times they will lose the fawn. There's not a good survival rate for the fawn because it's just like in our world. You know, if a young lady, a young girl is impregnated and has a baby, they just don't know what to do.
Right.
The doe will actually have the fawn and get up and just leave.
Right.
That motherly instinct just hasn't quite
developed. Yeah. That intrinsic.
Right. The fawn will try to follow her, but because, fawn is, pretty weak, a lot of times won't make it. And there's just such a low survival rate from young does. And that's why they say shoot a young doe. A real young doe, go ahead and take her, because the older doe, if you're wanting to, help with population, I guess you could shoot the older doe because
Your breeding does.
you're breeding does. But I guess it depends. But your younger doe is not the one that's doing the best breeding that's going to populate your place. The older doe is the one that's going to do most of populating because she knows how to do it.
Right.
She knows how to, take care of the fawn better and where
She's
to go lay
developed
it
all
down.
those motherly instincts for a deer.
That's
and has
exactly
done it.
right.
So
exactly right.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the answer to that is no. Typically not. Won't get
And
bred.
if they do, high
Mortality rate.
Mortality rate.
Yeah, usually so.
Low survival, high mortality.
Right. Exactly.
So you sort of hope that most of your breeding's going on. If you're wanting more deer, you hope your breeding's going on for the older does.
And heck, down here in this part of the country, man, you see little old spotted fawns. Shoot, I see them way into the season sometimes.
I've seen them in January.
Seems like it's getting later and later every year. So that might be another question for another night. Maybe the phenomenon that
why
changes.
we see spotted fawns in January?
Yeah, why is that changing? Kind of, it seems like that's a trend that it's.
That is a question.
It's making. I've kind of noticed. But anyway, all right, we got us another Facebook. Who we got, Mike?
We got Arlene Naughton out of Missoula, Montana. Another one.
Missoula, Montana. Montana, that's some beautiful part of the world right there now. We've been to Montana on a whitetail hunt. That's a beautiful
Boy, that was quite
country.
an excursion.
Wow, yeah. Where'd we go? Havre? Is that?
Havard. Isn't that where we flew into?
Havre, Montana.
Havre.
Yeah, Havre, Montana. It's a beautiful part of the world up there. I'm envious of you right there now. So where do bucks go during the October lull? And that question right there is kind of tough for me because October, usually our lull is in December here.
So I guess we could relate it to
the December lull for October because our October is our bow season starting up and it's usually pretty darn good. So
I would say the October lull there, the December lull here, they're going to get tight to cover. They're going to be tight to cover. You got the hunting pressure that's starting to develop. It doesn't take long for a buck to go, it's time to not come out until it's dark.
Right.
That instinct takes over to be safe.
And the reason down here is because hunting season's been in for about a month and a half. December, they're pretty darn tired of all this activity.
The human scent in the woods consistently.
And so they're locking up, going down that December lull, but yet, and here comes the rut right after that, and down here, and then of course then you're seeing them again.
And they're starting to, have a reason to get up, and the urge for Mother Nature to get them up takes over the instinctive urge to stay safe.
Right.
And that's probably what happens in Missoula, Montana.
I'm assuming now
that October is just not quite what it needs to be for November. So they're staying tight to cover, and a lot of people will say that the reason you have that lull also in December, October, before the rut, during the pre-rut, is because they're gearing up for the rut. They're eating, putting on fat, fat, then lay down.
That's right.
And it's, again, Mother Nature.
They're training for the
Mother Nature. It's a Mother Nature thing that just says, stay tight, stay down, stay down. You're going to need your energy.
Yeah.
Something's getting ready to happen to you, and you're going to need every bit of energy that you can get.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. And, and I hope that helps for you there in Missoula, Montana. We may not be quite as qualified to answer that question because that's a different part of the state, or a different part of the world there, excuse me. Pretty good ways from here, a lot of different type hunting pressure and factors.
Different factor, yeah.
I know the actual human population in Montana is a lot less. So, so the deer pressure may not be as bad.
Therefore, it could fall back on that gearing up to
get ready for the rut.
Getting ready for the peak of the rut.
Right, for the peak of the rut.
They're in the pre-rut.
You got pre, peak,
And post.
Post rut.
That's it.
So it depends on what it is. So pre-rut or right before that pre-rut, that lull,
That's it.
and then pre-rut, peak, post.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
That's
that
it.
can be tough. It can be sort of boring too.
yeah. Well, folks, man, it's been an hour, Mike.
Tell
I
you what,
can't believe it.
it went by that fast. I was having fun.
Well, come back.
I'll do
Come
it.
on back.
I got to get invited. Y'all don't invite me much.
No,
Only if Don's gonna be gone.
no, that's not right. No. Well, folks, we enjoyed it. Hey, we'll be back 7 o'clock next week. Big Don will be back with us, and
See?
we'll do this all over again. We
Rest
love
my-
talking about this. We're learning from you guys, so keep calling, keep sending those questions, and
Let us know.
Let us know. Keep teaching us. So we'll see you next time.